Let's go, let's go, let's go! It's your man Mike Bowens coming to you once again, live and direct from Unleashing the Creativity Within You. This is a very special episode. I'm so excited, I'm so pumped. How about you? I'm getting ready to introduce to you somebody who is very dear to my heart. Oh, she's so close to my heart that even she got one of my ribs. I'm talking about my baby boo. I'm talking about my wife. Yes, at one point in time, she struggled deeply with anxiety. I'm talking about us having to go to the hospital and hear from doctors and things of that nature and waking up in her sleep and cold sweats. But I want to tell you the good news. I want to tell you how she overcame it. I want to tell you how she defeated it. I want to tell you how she beat it. But in fact, instead of me telling you, I want her to tell you. I want her to share with you. I want her to share with the world of how God helped her overcome anxiety. And if she did it, you can do it too. This is your man Mike Bowens signing off and passing the baton to my baby boo. Stay tuned.
My family. I was thinking about my family. I always think about my family. My family is my world. My husband and my children, I always think about them because I love the environment and I love the space that we create together as a family. And when I think about, not being able to be there for them, or seeing my children grow up, or seeing my husband just with the everyday struggle of being a single dad with 3 kids. I think about stuff like that, and that's what was causing anxiety, and I didn't even know it was a part of depression as well. I was thinking about death a lot, and it was causing me to be anxious all the time. And I was so focused on that because in Georgia, I tried to commit suicide as well, which was ridiculous. It was crazy, but it was just the things. I just wanted to just eliminate the feeling of being pressured and being stressed and having all those things that was happening. And so I think about my family a lot in that way. I want the best for my family, and so I had to learn how to not think on those things and had to learn how to retrain my mind. My turning point was that morning that I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning in cold sweats and went to the emergency room. And when I went to the emergency room, there was a guy, a doctor. I don't know if he was a doctor or just a regular nurse, but he had on like a white shirt, gloves, blue pants, and they wheeled me into the room, and the nurse was asking me about, my symptoms and stuff like that. And so when he came into the room, he came over to my bed and he said, is this another one? And the nurse said, no, she's actually fine. It turned out that I was placed on a psych ward because I kept going to the hospital so much for the same exact thing. They began to think that I was crazy. And I began to think, well, am I crazy? Am I really crazy? That was a turning point for me when I decided, you know what? No more. No longer am I going to be oppressed and depressed and suppressed and stressed. No longer am I going to allow anxiety to take my life or to take the things away from me that mean so much or that matters to me. And no more am I going to put up with, anxiety trying to overtake my life. I became powerful within my own right. I started to really, realize hey, listen, you have more power than this thing. You have the authority to kick this thing to the curb. And so that's what I did. I decided that today I'm gonna change. today I'm gonna think on these things that are true, that are kind, that are, of good report, that are virtuous. I'm gonna think on things that's going to take me into my future and not take me out of my future. And so that was my turning point. I started to change my mind, my mindset, and change this thinking, like my husband always said. I wanted to live. I want to live, and I chose life. I started doing confessions. I can remember when we first got married, I had issues of fear. And my husband, he basically wrote down scriptures on fear. And I would take those scriptures and I would place them everywhere in our apartments. And I placed them in the bathroom mirror, the bedroom, kitchen, everywhere. And I started to confess every single day those scriptures until it became real to me. And I was delivered from fear through confession. So that's what I started to do with anxiety. I was listening to Joyce Meyer, which I've been listening to her, and she's been really helping me through that. My husband, praise God for him, he's amazing with that. And we just basically started writing confessions and scriptures on anxiety. I would listen to messages on anxiety, overcoming anxiety, and just the power that's within me that is greater than anything that I can ever face here on this earth. I started reading, I started listening, I started reading, I started listening, and I also started speaking that thing into my existence. I wanted to be surrounded with the things that were going to make me greater and not make me worse. I wanted to be, I wanted to do better and be better in my thinking. So I had to take my life in my own hands and really started to confess and really started to read my confessions every day. So what I did also, I created a vision board. And I created the vision board, and basically it was of health, articles and food, healthy foods and vegetables that increases serotonin and all those things. Like, I had to learn about those things because anxiety is caused by low serotonin and, high energy going through your mind all the time and thinking on things that causes you to fear. And so that's what I had to do. I had to change my mindset. I had to confess that I am, fearfully and wonderfully made. I had to confess every single day and build up my self-confidence, build up the woman that's within me, because there is greatness in me, just like there's greatness in you guys, and that's what you have to do. If it's something that you are fighting for and you want your life to be different, you have to take it by force. You have to do the unexpected. You have to do things that other people are not doing, to take your life into your own hands. And that's what I had to do. I had to confess it, I had to believe it, I had to speak it, and now I'm living it. I keep my thoughts right. I keep my thoughts right. I get up in the morning. I don't do it every day, but for the most part, I do. I get up every morning and I do my devotions. I focus on the things that are good in my life, and the things that are not that good yet, the things that are not that good, I push them to the back. And I focus on the positive things. Also, I got away from all the haters. It's the truth. When God has something great for you, you're gonna have haters on every single level. But I had to get away from the haters. If that means your friends, your family, whatever, I had to get away from the people that was stressing me out, okay? I had to get away from things that was causing me to be depressed. I had to shut the TV off once in a while. I had to, get away from the negative things. I had to shut the phone down and just focus on the environment that we're creating in our home. And so I had to get away from the naysayers. I had to get away from the haters. I had to get away from the negative mindset of people, you know, because people have the tendency to depress the mess out of you when you let them, because for every single day you're being faced and you're being hit with news and bad news and the economy this and the economy that and the media and blah blah blah. And I just had to I was just like, no more. I don't want you in my life. I had to completely get away from all those things and create an atmosphere of peace in my surroundings. And so that's basically what I did what I do now on a daily basis. I do it on purpose. I do it on purpose. And anything that you want in life, you have to work at it. And anything that you want to cause to happen in your life, you have to do it on purpose. And so I do it on purpose every day to focus on the good things and to get away from the negativity and the naysayers and, you know, all those things that will cause you to fall back. And I don't want to fall back. I want to keep going. I want to get to the Eden. I want to get to, you know, Goshen. I want to get to that point in my life where I can say anxiety does not control my life anymore. And I'm at that point. Anxiety does not control my life anymore. I am in control of my life. Most powerful weapon in defeating anxiety, in my opinion, is your mind. Because if you can kick it in your mind, then you can kick it in your life. If you can get it in your mind, you know, who you are and whose you are, then you can basically go through life anxiety free. You know, the Bible said to be anxious for nothing, but by prayer and supplication to make your requests be known unto God. And so that's what I started to focus on. I'm not anxious for anything because everything that God has for me, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. So my mindset, my husband always teaches me that your mind is like a garden. Whatever you put in it, it's gonna grow. So if you put good in, you're gonna get good out. If you put bad in, you're gonna get bad out. And I choose to put good into my mind. I choose to put good seeds into my mind so that good things can sprout up in my life.
Oh wow, that was so amazing. That was awesome. And yeah, my wife just gave a little bit of a testimony. You know, the scripture says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. You need to hear somebody else's story sometimes, even when you're going through something, because when you hear how somebody else went through it, then you believe that you can make it as well. How about you? I feel encouraged right now. I feel inspired right now. I feel like I'm just ready to run around the building right now. How do you feel? I'm ready to unleash the creativity that's within you. Stay tuned for the next episode. Be blessed.